Cam, thank you so much for being here. So you're a 12-time boxing champion, 3-time Olympic team member,
Trials champion.
3-time Olympic trials champion, and captain of Team USA.
Yeah,
Did I
for
get
about a
that right?
decade. Yeah. Bro,
And you said what? Most decorated boxer of all time?
U.S. history.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. And so part of your story is you were bullied growing up, and that's how you found boxing. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically the short of it. So bullying was pretty bad. It was physical bullying back then. It was before the cyber stuff. And no shade at that. That's also terrible. Like I got beat up in school and no one saw it. Imagine just getting beat up and being turned into a GIF. But it got so bad for me in elementary school, they would release me from school 10 minutes early so I could get home before my bully got to me.
Wild.
And as an adult, I'm like, that's kind of messed up. But as a child, you don't know any better. And that walk home was so influential to me because I knew why I was leaving school early. I was afraid. I was a coward. I couldn't defend myself. And that's the story I started to tell myself. And people, we have this amazing ability to tell ourselves a story and then play our character's role to a T. And I was the guy, I didn't know what anxiety was at the time, but I was the guy who was good at avoiding confrontation. Like most kids took the long way home from school. I left school early. In middle school, I would volunteer in the nurse's office during my lunch hour because I was afraid to be in the cafeteria around all the students. Again, I didn't know what anxiety was. I just knew that something was going to happen. I didn't know when, where, or how, but if I was on edge, I might be prepared for it. And I was just like anxiously awaiting a fight that never did happen until my first week of high school. I got into my first fight. I lost my fight. But in my defense, she was very strong. Yeah. Not how you want to start your high school career. But it shaped me because like I was, you have all these ideas of what high school is going to be like for you. You get beat up by a girl the first week. And then I was just tired of being afraid. And by 11th grade, I thought if I joined the boxing gym and did the workout and looked like a boxer, people would just leave me alone. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to get hit. I didn't want to hit anyone. I just wanted to do the workout so I can look like one because I thought if I change the way my character looked, I would change the way he interacted with the story. Yeah.
I love that. Change the way my character looked. So to your point, changing your story,
Yeah.
externally and internally, I would imagine. There's a level of a human that it takes to say, I have a problem and I think there's a solution to my problem, i.e. join boxing gym, that will solve my problem. Do you remember, like, were you thinking about it that way as in, I am in full control of my problem and here are the actions that I can take to solve it?
That's the way to put it. I just thought no one's coming to help me. And it's like, I didn't come from the most empathetic household either. So it wasn't like I come home from school and I get to reflect on my feelings with my family. It's just like, you better go wash the dishes before we call that girl to come over here and beat your butt again. And it was like, okay, it's not help. That doesn't help at all.
Yeah. And
I got it worse at home than I did at school. And I figured like, I just need to come up with a solution if no one else is going to help me. And the boxing gym was the only free gym in the neighborhood. I was like, this will be the way. And I thought the harder I worked out, the faster I would be safe. I'd never made any teams. I tried out for all the teams before, and I stopped in high school because you don't want to get cut in high school. But like up to then, I tried out for every team, every opportunity. I never made a team. But with the boxing gym, everyone got to go. And I'm Mr. TNT. I do things that take no talent. Like, that's my jam. I show up early. I ask questions. I give full effort. And that was my approach into boxing. And I didn't tell anyone in my family I was fighting. Like they knew I was going to the gym to work out, but I didn't tell them when I started fighting because I'd got in really good shape. I was in the gym for like 4 months every day. And my coach was like, you're in such good shape. I think you're ready to get in the ring and spar. And I was like, yeah, no, thank you. I don't think my mom's going to let me. And then everyone laughed. I was like, oh, I'll get a mouthpiece. And then I was so afraid to get in the ring and spar because I'd never competed in anything before. And it was just a simple sparring match in the gym, but I was so afraid. And nothing was memorable, but I do remember I ran from him so much that he eventually got tired and I started throwing punches. Once again, I'm very good at avoiding confrontation because whatever story you tell, you identify with.
Yeah.
And I became good at the avoiding confrontation. And after about, I started sparring everyone in the gym because I realized I don't get hit. If I just run from you till you get tired, I win. And like I was doing well in sparring, and I felt like I burned more calories sparring than anything else. And I'm like, oh, this will get me in the best shape. And I was so good at sparring. My coach was like, you're in such good shape. I think you're ready for your first fight. And like, I didn't mention my family. Like, I'm not going to bring my mom up right now. And I had my first fight, and I didn't tell anyone in my family. I won my first fight, and I felt on top of the world. Like I was like, oh, this is the first thing I've ever competed in. This and a bunch of games of Monopoly. And I'm the type that finished the game in Monopoly, but I thought I was the best thing to ever happen to boxing. And I had my second fight, which I ended up fighting a dude with 60 fights. It was my second fight. Everyone there knew I was going to lose but me, and I lost. And on my way home, I remember asking my coach, like, what does a loss mean for my career? Because I don't know much about boxing at this point. I'm like 6 months in. I'm like, do I lose Olympic points? Do I lose ranking? Can I not turn pro? What does it mean? And he's like, you didn't get the bigger trophy. I was like, huh? He's like, there's 2 trophies. I was like, yeah. He's like, there's a big trophy and a small one. I was like, yeah. He's like, you didn't get the big one. He went on to explain to me what I fought in was called a smoker show. It's a one-night pop-up event where boxers go to gain experience for tournaments that actually matter.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why it was so powerful the way he explained it. He didn't tell me what I did wrong. He didn't tell me what to do better next time. He was just indifferent, as if this was just like a part of the process. And what that taught me was just like a loss was just an opportunity to gain experience. 2 boxers. Boxer A has 3 boxing matches. Boxer B has 100. You got DraftKings. Who you betting on?
100 all day.
You don't even need to know their record. B, 5 wins and 95 losses. That's how powerful experience is. So if a boxer has 60 fights, that's a lot. My thought was, I don't care about my record. I'm just going to fight everyone until I get 100 fights. And then I'm going to be probably better than everyone else. And after I did that, I started to win off of just confidence and experience. I was boxing for a year. And when I was at the boxing gym, I was friendly and social. But when I was at high school, I was still awkward and shy, and I was still in my shell. My senior year of high school, my parents moved to Florida, which would be devastating for a high schooler. But for me, this was a fresh start. I can develop a Jamaican accent and no one will be the wiser. I can be whoever I want.
Yeah.
So what I thought was, remember Family Matters?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Steve Urkel would drink a potion and turn into Stefan Urkel, a cooler, more confident version of himself. And that was I wanted to bring my version of Stefan Urkel to Florida. So I stopped wearing glasses. I started wearing contacts. Stefan wears contacts. And I left New York as Cameron, but I introduced myself to everyone in Florida as Cameron, the very relevant rapper at the time.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was my whole, I was like, oh, Cameron. Okay. And I created this person, this whole personality. I told everyone I was this charming, funny, loud, outgoing kid from New York. I wasn't. I also told them I've been boxing for years. I only boxed for 1 year. You can embellish your story. Everyone in Florida believed it. I didn't. My boxing gym was 6 miles from my high school, and I didn't have a car, so that was a 6-mile walk. You remember iPods?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have one, which meant I was stuck with my thoughts for 3 hours.
Oh, the blessing and a curse.
Wow. Blessing. I see it as a blessing now. And I didn't understand what I was doing at the time, but I decided out of boredom, I was just going to make up stories on my walk. And unlike in elementary school where I was afraid I was a coward, I couldn't defend myself, I was the shit in all of these new stories. I had all the money, all the cars, all the championship belts. I struck fear in the hearts of my opponent. I knocked everyone out. None of it was true, but I noticed something crazy. The more highly I spoke about myself on the way to the gym, the better I performed when I got there. And the better I performed at the gym, the more excited I was for that walk. And this created a feedback loop of confidence. I was beating boxers I had no business beating. I was walking like I deserved everything. I mean, I had unlocked a superpower. Around the same time, my teammate who was 16 was also fighting a 16-year-old, but his opponent had tattoos. And he came to me, he's like, Cam, you see the dude I'm fighting? He's got tattoos. Can you even have tattoos at 16? That boy's a man. And then I watched my more talented teammate lose a fight to a dude he can easily beat because he told himself a story he couldn't beat a 16-year-old with tattoos.
Wild.
We all do it.
100%.
We all tell ourselves stories of who we are, what we deserve, what we're capable of, whether that's I'm too old to start over or I'm not smart enough to go after that, or people like me don't get opportunities like this. Whatever your story is, you've heard it so much that it stops sounding like a story and starts feeling like truth. And I had a thought when I looked at that and I was like, Henry Ford, whether you think you can or you think you can't, what would happen if I just thought I could? Like, on a whole nother level, though, I'm talking about just ignoring my current reality and just speaking my future reality into existence, like believing in myself blindly, not allowing external circumstances to dictate my internal dialogue. I've got to be Delulu.
A little bit.
I was a lot of bit Delulu. And it rubbed people the wrong way. I lost a lot of people in my life because I thought I was a shit. I mean, and I was so afraid to get in the ring otherwise. I needed to walk around and talk to myself like I was that guy at all times. And I took that attitude. Within 2 years of boxing, I qualified for the 2008 Olympic trials. Lost the first day. And I remember, like, because back then I was popping on MySpace.
You were the man.
Everyone wanted to be in my top 8. And I remember losing, and I thought to myself, like, oh man, what are people on MySpace going to think? Because, like, that's true. We so often care about what other people think and how they're going to view our story. And then we give them the pen and we allow other people to write our narrative. So when I lost, I was like, okay, how do I spin this? And I thought, well, all the boxers in this tournament who lost either quits or turn pro.
Mm.
If they all quit and turn pro and I don't, aren't I automatically the best?
Mm.
That was the story I told myself. And in life, so many times when we fail, that's when we want to quit. But we now have experience on our side. I lost Olympic trials in January of 2008. September 2008, when I showed up to nationals, all the new boxers looked at me as the boxer from the last Olympic cycle, the guy to beat. That was their story. It became mine. I ended up winning nationals in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, became captain of Team USA, was traveling around the world, ended up winning the 2012 Olympic trials to represent the US in the London Olympics, and then got kicked off the Olympic team for not sending out my drug testing paperwork. So, yeah, wasn't even a real offense. I didn't fail a drug test. I failed to fill out the form. I left the country, forgot to tell the drug testing agency. They showed up to my house to give me a random test. It wasn't there. Missed test is a positive drug test. Even though I tested negative to compete in the tournament, I left the country for. It wasn't a real thing. It was after Lance Armstrong had gone on Oprah. Yeah. They cracked down on a bunch of athletes.
Yeah.
And that year sucked because when you think really highly of yourself and you project that and other people see that, it's a long fall down. And I read all the comments. Honestly, if I'm being real, people forgot I wasn't going to the Olympics before the Olympics started. It's just, we care about our failure so much that we see it so much. I was afraid to go to the grocery store. Someone might see me. And it ate me alive for a full year. And when it was time to return to boxing, I'd gained a bunch of weight because I was drinking a bunch. I wasn't eating great. I wasn't an athlete anymore, but I still ate like one. And like I knew, like, you work out to lose weight, and I'd work out for a few days and I'd fall off and I'd start again and I'd fall off over and over. And then like I couldn't keep myself going. Like, I lost my spark, whatever magic I had. And one day, like, look in the mirror, I'm like, you idiot, you fat loser. How did we get here? And I realized there's a difference between me in 2012 and the me that walked to the gym in high school. One of us liked me. And I'm like, oh, the way I talk to myself matters. Because what I did before is I ignored my current reality and spoke my future reality into existence. But then when I got suspended, I was looking at my life. I'm like, I'm sleeping on a friend's couch. I'm broke. I don't have any opportunities. And I'm like, you loser, you idiot. And I'm like, I let my external circumstances dictate my internal dialogue. And I was like, okay, I can't do that anymore. Before, I was walking to the gym 5 days a week, 3 hours a day, 15 hours a week. I was patting myself on the back, telling myself I was amazing. I was unstoppable. And I was like, I need to get back to that. And I thought, like, how can I go all the way to Lulu? I went out and legally changed my last name to Awesome.
Which is fucking awesome.
Right? I changed my middle name to the letter F. Yeah, it's not even F dot. It's just F.
Just F.
Just F.
Just F.
You know what's up.
I love it.
Yeah.
I have a question on the self-talk and not letting the external world dictate your internal
Dialogue.
self-talk, dialogue, or your internal reality. Because to be honest, like our internal reality is our own reality. Like it's our world. We all live in different worlds.
And we make it. We create our own
We
world.
create our own worlds.
I've got a friend who works from home. She loves true crime. She listens to true crime podcasts all day at work, gets off work, watches murder mysteries. Let's sum up her day. She listens to people be murdered all day, watches people get murdered in the evening, likely dreams of people being murdered at night. We once pulled into a parking lot and she said, this would be a great place to murder a person.
It's the world she created for herself.
She has anxiety.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah. Right. So so to your point of like going full delusional, and like, I agree with you. I think really healthy self-talk and believing so much in yourself that it's like almost inevitable the thing will become true is a beautiful way to go through life. At what point does it become full fucking delusion where your self-talk is I'm the best boxer in the world. My record's 0-100. You're not the best boxer. Let's just be very clear. And so where does it become harmful that you're so delusional? And how does somebody like course correct? Or what's your opinion there?
I think, here's the thing about that. That's not your problem. That's no one's problem. If no one that delusional needs this conversation. It's usually the people who are beating themselves up. So what I say is let the pendulum swing to the other side. Believe in yourself too much because it's worse to believe yourself not enough than it is to believe yourself too much. And if you are the boxer who's 0-100 and you think you're the best, well, you probably won't be. But will you keep going?
Probably.
That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
All this resilience shit, all of it is just hope. Lie to yourself, whatever you need to do to give yourself hope so you don't kill yourself or you just keep going. Lie to yourself. It's the least you can do. And it's the story that you tell yourself. So it's like, here's what was real powerful for me. I read all the comments. Before I got suspended, I would flip in the ring. I wore capes. I did dances. Your boy was having a good time. The pendulum had swung. So when I got suspended, number one comment was, I bet he's humble now. And it hurt. I didn't know why. And I looked up the definition of humble. Have you ever done it? Mind-blowing. It's having or showing a low estimate of one's own importance. Of low social, administrative, or political rank, or to lower someone in dignity or respect. So you're killing it in the podcast world. You run to someone who's not. We usually humble ourselves down. The Latin root word is lowly. Not to where they are, but a little bit lower so they can feel better about themselves. Who does being humble serve?
The other person.
Doesn't even serve them. They have a false sense of reality. It doesn't serve anyone. And I realized when we constantly tell ourselves to be smaller in the story we're creating, you live a smaller life. You don't want to take up too much space, and you don't get the things you actually don't even think you deserve the things. So you get exactly what you deserve. So I was like, I didn't see how humility served me in any way. That's why I chose awesome. I was like, what's the least humble thing I could do? Like that comment ate at me. I'm like, life is going to humble me. I don't need to humble myself. And I want to be respectful of everyone's beliefs if you find strength in whatever humility. Be humble to God. Don't be humble to Steve. Fuck Steve. Like that's how, boxing is the greatest metaphor for life because it's the same thing. I can't go into the ring like, oh, that guy's really good. I hope I'm good enough. Like, nah, I'm gonna fuck that dude up. That's the attitude. And I've left that attitude in boxing and I brought it with me in everything I do. I'm uber competitive because that 6-mile walk I took, 3 hours, bro, that was a lot. And in those moments, like towards the end of a fight where I'm tired, I'll look at you and be like, you didn't walk 6 miles. You don't deserve to win. I'm not stopping. But you have to build up that equity from putting in the work to get there. And that's the part that sucks. And the more you suffer, the more, like I missed my little sister's graduation to train. She still brings it up. She's 30. When I make sacrifices like that, when I miss family events, when I miss things I want to do, it just fuels me. It's why it's why I'm better than you. I deserve to win. You don't deserve to win. So in life, when it's time for you to get that promotion, do you tell yourself, I'm not even going to go after it. I don't deserve it. I'm not smart enough for it. I don't work hard enough for it. Other people deserve it more than me. Like, I walk in rooms where people don't look like me, Elliot. Like, I can easily tell myself a story. Oh, they don't think I deserve to be here. They don't think I'm smart enough to be here. Nah. I walk in a room like they don't deserve to be there. Like, if anything, you don't deserve to be here. I deserve to be here. Now, I don't say it. You could tell, though. It's because it's the constant talk I do with myself. And and it doesn't even have to be true. I just have to believe it.
Mm. I love that. It doesn't have to be true. I just have to believe it. The sacrifice that you had to make to become what you became in the boxing world, would you do it again?
Yes.
Why?
I live a dream life.
Mm.
When people talk about work-life balance, especially young people, I'm like, you just want to live paycheck to paycheck.
Bro, I agree. Oh my, I fucking hate that thing. I hate that so much.
You think you deserve anything? You don't deserve anything. You get a lot because you're lucky, but you have to put in work to deserve it. And whatever you think you've done, like when I read, a lot of athletes reach out to me because I found some success in the speaking world, and they're like, how do I become a speaker like you? I'm like, I lived in my van for 3 years, speaking at 200 schools a year, emceeing festivals for free. Like, I'm dope because I put in the work. It's like, you don't just get to sign up and be at this level. And let's say I was getting paid what I got paid when I first began. Do I think I should still be paid the same amount now after doing all of that? No. So I didn't deserve to get paid in the beginning. I deserve to be paid now because I put in the work. And it's never as much work as you think it's going to be. It's always more. It's always more. Bro, I'm 16 years in and I'm about to be an overnight success.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The level of work it takes to be an overnight success is insane.
Might not be worth it.
Honestly.
You have to ask yourself the question. Like, when boxers get into boxing, my questions are, what do you want out of boxing? Like, why are you boxing? Do you want Instagram followers? Do you want abs? You want to defend yourself? You want girls, like, or guys, whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Second question, what's it going to take for you to leave?
That's a good fucking question.
You see athletes stick around way too long. And like there's one guy, I won't even mention his name because I don't want to throw any shade on him. Yeah. But he's an amazing boxer. He's talented. He made it to the highest level in the pro. Not the highest level, but he made like 15-0 in the pros.
Okay.
And he just posted the video in an Amazon truck delivering packages. Yeah. And he signed a contract where they promised him 3 fights a year. He's only had that 1 fight a year, and he's like, you can't. He's like, I'm not shamed. He's like, he's got to work. Most boxers, like, there's no money in it. I had sparred a dude who he was fighting for $100K. Call it $50K after taxes. 20% to your coach and 10 to your manager, and then so now he's looking at like 35,000. Mm-hmm. He has to have sparring partners. He paid me to go for a sparring partner. He pays for my flight, my hotel, my massage, my food. And he's fighting in Vegas. If you're fighting in Vegas, you can invite your mom?
Yeah, of course.
You gonna let her pay for a ticket?
No.
How about her hotel?
Nah.
You gonna have shirts, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He looked at closer to 10K when he was done. He fought for 100K. He got about 10K. You fight 3 times a year. That's not good money. Mm. But when you spend all of your time doing your sport because you identify as an athlete, once you leave your sport, you have nothing. Mm. So my thought was, after I got kicked off the Olympic team in 2012, I had athlete privilege, bro. I got opportunities other people didn't get. I got free gym memberships, free supplements. People would send me free stuff all the time. I dated outside of my looks. Bro, you get special treatment when you're an athlete. I got kicked off the Olympic team and they charged me gym memberships. I was less attractive. I had less likes. Yeah. Like, I was like, oh, I went through like a identity crisis. And I was like, oh, I don't want to be an athlete anymore. I'm an entertainer. Because if I identify as an entertainer, I can still be an athlete. But after that's over, I can speak, I can do comedy, I can MC, I can entertain in other ways. I didn't want to identify as just like solely as an athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned this thing that I really want to dig into because I think it's an incredibly important conversation or awareness that I don't know if it's talked about enough. And it always takes more work than you expect. And I talk to our team a lot about this, and this is beyond the podcasting world. I have a AI tech startup, and it is work so hard, it is unreasonable that you'll lose.
Yeah.
And to me, that's life. Work so hard, it is so unreasonable that you won't actually win at life. Should be the mental approach. Is that kind of like what you're saying when you say like undeniable work?
Undefucking-niable. That's the term I use for that. You've described it in a different way, but I'm going to get so good that I'm supposed to win. I'm going to get so good that you think I'm going to, like, if you're my opponent, I want you to think I'm going to win. And what I need to do in the ring is I just need you to question yourself just a little bit. And I'm going to open the armor up just a little bit and just expose you. And eventually at some point of the fight, you do like an involuntary exhale, like that's your soul leaving your body.
Are you watching for that?
It's my favorite thing. It is my favorite thing. It's you see someone's eye just die because they're like, they realize there's nothing they can do. And that feeling has happened to me before. I don't want to be on that side.
Yeah.
So the reason why I work so hard is I don't want to be questioned. And I take that same competitiveness I had in boxing with speaking. Because like I grew up listening to rap music. You use words, you're MC, top 5 dead or alive. You know who the best ones are. In the speaking world, we're using words. Don't even try to share stage with me. Because my idea, like if there's 4 speakers on stage, I don't want them to talk about anybody else with me. I want everybody else to do the very best they can. Good luck. And that's how I approach it. And if there's 4 of us on stage and someone does better than me, I invite them for coffee. I got some questions. You're good. Like I when someone's better than me, I'm like, okay, teach me. Tell me about your mistakes. Tell me what you would do differently. Look at my position and see what would you do if you're in my position right now. And what I learned in life is that successful people just want more successful people around them. I used to be a hater. I used to see people with a bunch of stuff and be like, oh, you lucky to have this. And I realized I'll never become the thing I despise. I despise successful people. And I had to change my outlook on that. And I realized when I would run into a successful person, before they tell me they're successful, they're just trying to help me. And I was like, oh, the more you have, the more you want to give. And that's how I feel now. If someone asks me for something, like, if I have, oh, we all have. And I just feel like that's the way to get the most.
It's because like, I love that framing. And it's because once you've either have success or believe you have success, either one, both are true, you don't need anything from anybody anymore. And you enter a more giving mindset or a more giving frame. You're like, I actually don't need anything from you. I'm complete. I'm full. I'm successful. Let me give you something.
Your cup runneth over.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to give the extra away.
Yeah. I love that.
That's where I am in life right now. And it is beautiful.
How would you recommend, okay, so there's somebody listening and they're like, damn, I wish I could just be around more successful people. My circle is just, they're not the people I aspire to be. What would you recommend they go do? How do they develop a successful circle?
First, I will say there's been people in my life who had cut me off to level up. I seen it happen. I see, because I wasn't in a good place and I wasn't living right. And I saw they just separated themselves from me and I saw them take off. I started doing that to other people. And I didn't take it personal when they left me. I don't see it personal when I leave other people. You can't take everybody with you. Cut a bunch of people off. Like if you're trying to tell yourself a story and the people around you aren't telling that same story, there's 8-9 billion people on this planet. You can't talk to everyone twice. Like, leave your town. If people in your town aren't supporting you, leave. That was my whole thing. I started speaking in Kansas City and I spoke everywhere for free because my thought was, I'm gonna get dope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get reps in. And I spoke at almost every high school and middle school in Kansas City. And then after I got my website up, I got videos, I got promos, I got my speech. It's tight, it's funny. I'm getting testimonials. And every school that referred me to the next school as a free speaker. And I'm like, oh no, I charge now. And like, oh, we don't pay you. And I felt a way. I made a list. It's still in my phone of principals who don't get to book me for free again. I don't even know if they can afford me. And it was just this resentment. And then I realized if we're in Austin You had 5-6 figures to book a speaker. Are you going to book Steve from across the street, or are you going to get someone that no one sees? Of course, you're going to go out and get someone. So, of course, you're not going to pay the dude from your city. Luckily, there's more places I'm not from than I'm from. And that's why I lived in my van for 3 years, because I didn't have to pay for flights, hotels, or rental cars. Most businesses go under because of overhead. My mortgage is my car insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So I had some resentment in the very beginning at all the schools in Kansas City. Few people like Rob Shepard, shout out to him. He always booked me, even when I did terrible in the very beginning. I'll never forget him. I'll still do his schools for free. Like, I'll pay my flight to Kansas City and go do his because he took care of me.
Mm.
It's like, I remember everyone on my way up. I've got physical lists. I don't forget.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love this your mindset around living in your car for what, 3 years?
3 years.
Doing speaking for free. And I don't think that's what enough people do anymore is we're in such a hurry to be successful that we don't take a step back and do the groundwork to actually be successful. Like, you have to master your craft. And the only way you're going to master your craft is by doing 200 speeches, by doing 53 podcasts in, 2 months. Like, you have to do the volume of work in order to get good at the work. And so when it comes to like somebody who's new to whatever their pursuit is there anything you would just recommend that they kind of do to get started in a way of their journey to success?
Top 5.
Top 5.
I
love lists.
Okay. I think you need a top 5 for everything you're doing, right?
Okay.
So in the boxing world, this is how it worked for me. Your number one person in your top 5, that's the pinnacle. That's the highest person that you can reach. For me, that was Muhammad Ali. You don't even have to meet your number one person, but this is a list of 5 people. Muhammad Ali is the number one person. That's the person I'm going to get to eventually. The number 2 person is someone better than me, more experienced than me, further along than I am. That's the person I'm coming for. No shade, no beef. If somebody in the gym, they're better than me. If they go run 3 miles, I'm going to run 4. If they hit the bag for 5 rounds, I'm going to hit for 6 because I'm seeing them and I'm coming after them. Number 3 person, that's a person who's on the same level as you are. That's a competitor. That's the dude in the gym. My goal is to never let that dude get better than me. And his goal should be to never let me get better than him. We're in this together. We're pushing each other. And I will give him everything he needs to be better than me. I'm not holding any of that back because I want to make it as hard as myself to keep up with him as possible. Number 4 person on this list, someone not as experienced as you are, but just as hungry. You are their number 2. Give them everything you can to get them where you are because you're not supposed to be there any longer. You're supposed to keep growing. Number 5 person, most important person on the list is you. None of those 4 people are going to want to hang out with you if you don't want to hang out with yourself. So are you carrying yourself like the type of person who's going to make it to that pinnacle? So I took that approach with boxing and I have my number 3s. We would train together, like they would be in different cities. I check in on them. I let them know I'm coming for them. This is what I've been doing. What you've been doing? You took Christmas off? I didn't take Christmas off. I've been in the gym. Where you at? 2008, I took Christmas off and my sparring partner, Jeremiah Graziano, didn't. I left for 10 days. I came back. He had been in the gym and he beat my ass every day for about a month because he was that much better shape than me. It took me a while to catch up. So I thought, okay, 12 days. I'm not going to take those 12 days off. That's after 10 years. It's like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a third of a year.
Yeah. You're not catching up to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my top 5 with speaking. I've got my number 1 person. I've got my number 2. My number 2, I saw her speak. I won't say her name just out of respect, but she's dope. I saw her and I was like, damn, that's how good you have to be. And when that clicked, I was like, damn, she knows something I don't. And I sent her a message on LinkedIn and she's like, actually, and she was down for meeting for coffee, but she's like, actually, could you just come to my house? I have my kids. I don't want to bring them with me. And she brought me to her house. She showed me her numbers. She showed me how much she made her first year speaking, second year. She's been in this for like 15 years. She gave me advice. She told me how she's spending her extra cash. Like, she's earning a lot of money. She's like, she gets a pageant coach to help her with her femininity on stage. She has a speech coach. She has pay someone to work up her content and social media. So she gave me all of her secrets, which was never really a secret. You have to ask.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, when I ask, I get. So she's my number 2. I look up to her, and I'll be meeting. She's from Kansas City. I'll be meeting up with her at the end of this month. But also, there's number 4s on my list who look at me the same way, and I want to give them that information. And it's an ecosystem to keep me going. So I want to see everybody around me do well, because I look at myself. If I'm a tabletop, I want 4 strong legs under me. And then under them should be 4 more strong legs out of each of them. And they're just building me up. And I'm just somebody else's leg too. It's like, we're all in this together, but you just got to be around like the right people.
For sure. I resonate with that so deeply. I've had so many conversations with like my friends in Austin, and a lot of it's like, I just want to be so successful because I want everybody around me to also win. I want to be able to invest in them. I want to be able to build their businesses. I want to be able to help them win. And I want to be on that journey like together as like a unit of humans.
Yeah. How do you judge success?
That's a tough one. I mean, that's a really tough one. For me, it is, how do I judge success? I think it is that feeling that I am doing what is aligned with my highest purpose in life. It is that I'm always acting towards my highest alignment. And it doesn't, I think money is a great physical, I guess kind of physical representation of it. But I also deem success on like how well I'm taking care of myself mentally and physically, how my friendship relationships are, how my family relationships are. Am I waking up every day and actually enjoying what I'm doing and what I'm building? And probably one of the more important things is, am I building things that make the world a better place? That's probably actually the number one. I focus really heavily on everything that I touch. I hope it makes the world a better place.
It's dope.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
With your list of 5, okay, so I'm one person who works inside of a company of, we're 20-ish people. So would I as a human have a list of 5 like entrepreneurs that I'm chasing after, or because I'm building a tech startup, do I have a list of 5 companies that I aspire to be? How would you recommend somebody like me thinks about this list of 5, both from a company building perspective and from like an entrepreneur perspective?
Ooh, so I think those are two different things.
Okay.
From an entrepreneurial perspective, you are the business.
Yeah.
So carry yourself in that way. So as an entrepreneur, like even so I'm a speaker. I have a speaking business. It's just like an entrepreneur. Solopreneur is just pretty much, I have a couple people, but for the most part, it's just me. I look at other speakers and see what they're doing. I see how they're spending their time. I see what they're posting about, see if they're reading or not. And I'm watching to see what are they doing because somebody else did it before them.
Oh, wait. Okay. Can you say it again? What are they doing because somebody else did it before? Are you looking at it in a good way or a bad
Negative.
way?
Negative.
Okay. So you're like, oh, you're just copying somebody else who already had a playbook.
Yeah.
And you're trying to replicate it.
Because a lot of times, so the speed bag in boxing, that
Yeah.
boxers always hit the speed bag. And
does anybody know why?
I know exactly why. But I ask every boxer who's hitting because it's annoying. It ruins the music. Even if I have headphones on, I'm here. I'll ask a boxer, why are you hitting that? And they'll say hand-eye coordination. Bet you can't hit it with your eyes closed. They close their eyes and they hit it, proving me wrong while proving me right at the same time. Because if you can hit with your eyes closed, it's not hand-eye coordination. It's hand-air coordination. I don't know how that helps you in a fight. The reason why he's hitting the speed bag is because someone hit it before him hit it, and a person before him hit it, and a person before him hit it.
It was the damn Rocky movies.
Probably even before that. But has anyone thought the first person to do something might have just been stupid? Yeah, dumb people used to exist back then. Like, they're still around. Check your feed. Okay?
Yeah.
So my thought process, the average boxer works out 250 days a year. They hit the speed bag 4 rounds a year. That's 1,000 rounds. Works out to be 68 hours. If you had an extra 68 hours a year to work on something, would you do something that looked cool but was ineffective? Or would you work on your conditioning, your defense, slipping punches? So when I say like, look at what people are doing, and if like, oh, you're just doing this because other people do it, you don't see it as effective. You just see it as tradition. Because I believe tradition stunts growth. If you want to have any type of room for innovation, you can't do things how they were done before. And also, I'm mediocre. I understand that. And I don't throw that. So there's a shade. I understand if I do what everyone else is doing, I'll just be in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
So I rather go off on a different path. I'll look weird for a while, but when I come back onto the path, I'll either be all the way in the back or all the way in the front.
Hell yeah.
And that's swing for the fences. Like if I'm swinging, I'm going for a home run, and I'm going to walk to the batter's box after I miss with my head high. But I'm not going to settle for like a grounder to first.
I love that. It's the saying of shoot for the stars and land on the moon.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not want everything in life to feel that way? Like, why? It's hard for me sometimes to wrap my brain around why not think so obnoxiously big.
Well, the humility from the time someone's a child. Hey, I know you won. Don't celebrate too much. You don't want anyone to think you're better than them. You don't want to make anyone feel bad. You don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. Stay small. Stay humble. I hear a lot about humble leadership. That's bullshit. Leaders don't come down to where you are. Leaders bring you up to where they are. So there's no humility in that. By definition of the word, self-belief and humility can't be in the same sentence. By the definition, a lot of people say, well, being humble doesn't mean thinking less of myself. It means thinking about myself less. Elliot, you're a grown-ass man. If you're not thinking about you, who else is?
Nobody. Nobody's coming to save me.
No one. I learned as a child. No one's coming to save me. Yeah. And I speak like this, and I have my moments of doubt as well, just like everybody else. But this thing that I've created, this internal talk about myself, rap music, okay? I know I'm this guy.
No, give me one of it.
Rap music is the only place in the world where you can unapologetically talk about how dope you are.
That is so true.
I got this car. I deserve this. I'll take your girl. I got this. I got that. How often you drive? Because we all channel that. I call it your inner awesome. Like we all feel ourselves. You're driving to work. It's a corporate job, not exactly a corporate song. But you're hitting every word and you're feeling yourself and you're driving and you start talking to yourself different. Like, oh, I wish Brenda would ask me if I saw her email again. And in those moments, you speak up for yourself. And if you ever listen to like that song that does it for you, everybody has their own song. And then you walk into a happy hour, you walk into a meeting after that, you have that energy with you. Doesn't last forever, but it lasts a little bit when you just walk in. You could channel that and bring that out at all times. That's me changing my last name to Awesome, being Stefan. That was me finding that person and channeling him as much as I can. I'm not perfect. I'm still figuring it out, but it's like, it's a way better way to approach life. It's like life sucks sometimes, man. And like the only thing that's going to make it is better is the story you tell yourself. And the story you tell yourself determines the type of person you're able to become. You're constantly saying, I'm too stupid to do this. I can't do that. It's like, yeah, you're right.
You always will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you believe it, I believe it.
Yeah. Because the end of your Henry Ford quote, or what was it?
Well, you think you can or you think you can't.
Either way, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is scary. It's scary.
Yeah, but you have the pen, though. Yeah. Like, I got beat up by a girl. I can't change it. You can't rewrite past chapters, but you have the ability to write the next chapter, whether you consciously do it or not. And so many of us let other people take the driver's seat, and they let other people write their narratives for them. And it's like, because you don't want to disrupt the way things are going. Mm-hmm. Like, if you don't like the way life is dealing you cards, shuffle the deck. What does that look like? Doing things completely different. Dress the way you wouldn't dress. Speak to yourself in a way you wouldn't speak to yourself. Hang out with the people you wouldn't normally hang out with. Like, do something different to change the pattern. Disrupt the pattern somehow. Like, change my last name to Awesome was the thing that stopped me from being discouraged. If you can fail without being discouraged, success becomes inevitable.
Dude, that's the big one. I love that framing. You mentioned it earlier, and now you just mentioned it again, and I want to visit it. Fail without being discouraged. That is one thing that I think most humans struggle with, but to me, that is a key to success. It is like, you just gotta go after it relentlessly. And if you fail, you didn't fail, you learned. Pick yourself up and move the fuck on.
Bro, how do you speak to yourself when you fail? How do you set a Zoom, you choose the wrong time zone, and now you're late. You missed it. You're like, oh, you idiot. You never get anything right. You stupid. It's like, you have a choice on how you speak to yourself. Like, my most viral video, and like the fight that got me my most sponsorships I lost the fight on national television. And after the fight, like, they put a microphone in my face. And I didn't say a single negative thing about me after losing. I talked about how amazing I thought I did. I thought how I disagree with the judges' decisions. I referred to myself as not the Taylor Swift of boxing. Like, and it went viral because people were so confused. The fact that I just lost the fight on national television. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't let external circumstances dictate who you are. Here's a downfall of that. When I win, I don't celebrate more. I don't allow myself to feel better when I win. Because if you lose, you have to allow yourself to feel worse. Now, I don't get those highs and those lows. What I get is peace.
Is it because you expect to win?
Yeah, I definitely expect to win.
Yeah.
But when I win, I don't identify with being happy because I won. Because if you put your joy on the outcome could change.
So is the joy then the work it took to get the outcome?
The joy is the peace. Because you get the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, and you can chase that, but it's not going to last too long.
Yeah.
But I show up, I perform, and I'm consistently at the same place. If I lose, if I win, I don't let that change who I am. I'm dope regardless, bro. I'm him. Now, approach me by my pronoun. Him.
Oh, that's such good framing.
I realized that when I would lose, I hate losing more than I like winning. And when I lose, I make myself suffer. When I lose a fight, I will make myself watch the video. I'll wake up in the middle of the night dreaming, thinking about it. And I don't allow myself to stop thinking about it. You deal with it. You sit with that torture. Be uncomfortable, because next time you're not going to want this feeling. Work harder. But if we let ourselves off the hook when we lose, then it's not so scary to lose next time.
Dude, you bring up, God, I love this conversation so much. You bring up things that when we lose, we often, at least in my experience, and I'm kind of coming at it from like the startup world and humans and work and whatnot, we almost, it's like, what you're almost saying is you don't want to take responsibility for all the things you could have done better that created the loss. And often when we lose, we try to avoid all the responsibility that we could have had. I could have worked harder. I could have not worked out or I could have worked out during Christmas and not gone into my family. I could have not eaten those donuts last night, whatever it is. And it's such a disservice to ourselves to not actually reflect on everything we could have done better that we were in full control of. And we are often very surprised at how much we're actually in control of in almost every scenario.
Yeah. Yeah. You were never given that control though. You were socialized as a child. You raised your hand to use the bathroom. You hand things in on time. You've been a servant your whole life. And then you're 18. They're like, figure it out on your own now. Yeah.
What should somebody do to, let's say somebody's like, damn, that is definitely me. I lose and I don't actually take ownership over like all the things I was in control of. What would be like a good first step for them to kind of just start getting momentum in taking responsibility and actually owning their losses and learning and moving forward?
Weird answer to that. 30-day gratitude practice. Every morning I wake up, and I've been doing this every day since July 27th of 2021.
Okay.
But I tell people to do it for 30 days. Yeah. Every morning you wake up, write 10 things you're grateful for. Yeah. Never repeat anything on the list for 30 days. I'm grateful for my house, my car, my washer, my dryer. Those are two different things. You'd be grateful for everything. After about 10 days, it's going to get extremely difficult to find new things. I also don't look at my phone until I'm done writing the list.
Okay.
I really want to look at my phone. So what I would do is, after about 10 days, it got difficult. So I would look for things throughout my day to be grateful for, store it in my memory, call it delayed gratification, and write my list faster. Now, the reason why I do this is your reticular activating system. I'm not a doctor. I learned this on TikTok. But your brain takes in billions of bits of information every moment.
Yeah.
Your conscious mind can't process it, so it filters it through your reticular activating system, and it gives you about 35 bits. What 35 does it give you from the billions to just 35? It gives you what it thinks is relevant to you. Mm-hmm. What you seek is what you find. So if you're going shopping for a yellow car, you don't buy that, then you start seeing yellow cars everywhere. Yeah. That's your reticular activating system at work. It's why whichever car you happen to drive seems to be like one of the most popular cars on the road. It's not. It's what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. So a lot of us, when we start our day, we start with social media, timeline, news, death, murder, destruction, genocide, rape. And then what do you think we're going to see in our day? So what I started to do is I started writing lists about how great I am and how grateful I am.
Mm.
And every day I just look for reasons why I'm dope and my life is great. And if you say, my name is Elliot and I cannot fill in the blank, your brain will sort through the billions of bits of information, ignore all the reasons why you are capable, and show you the reasons why you aren't.
Mm.
Your brain's looking to tell you a story. Help it tell a better story.
Mm.
So the way you talk, the 30 days is to just get used to thinking highly of yourself. And I jokingly would talk about tapping into my inner Kanye, because before the anti-Semitic stuff, the dude is obnoxious. His belief in himself is obnoxious.
I wish I had that.
I have it. I wrote a book. I wrote my first book. I dedicated it to myself. I thought it was the most Kanye shit you can do. I like to dedicate this book to me. And under it, far from a Harvard student, just had the balls to do it.
Whew.
My favorite Jay-Z quote. Because the quote was, I'm far from a Harvard student. And I just put ... because copyright stuff, I couldn't put any more. But the quote was, far from a Harvard student, just had the balls to do it. I barely graduated high school. They just let me graduate because it would be cheaper for the school district. I wasn't good at school. I wasn't that smart kid, but you're not going to outwork me. I got balls. Like, it's all I got.
Yeah.
Big balls. I'm pulling them in a wheelbarrow. And whether that's true or not, that's how I talk to myself. Because you might say, oh, I'm not that type of person. Well, then I agree.
Yeah. It's like the Will Smith quote where something along the lines of, we could be running on a treadmill together and I will die before I get off. I will die before I lose to you.
Yeah.
And it's like that mentality through life, when they become successful or are successful, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You never question it.
So what would you have to do, or the listener have to do, to be that person? That means if you're working at an office, make sure you're the first car in the parking lot. Maybe even talk to someone about getting you a key. That's how often you're going to show up early, and make sure you're the last one there. Help other people out. Outwork everyone and then help them get to your level. Eventually, you will move up. And just say you're going to do that until you die. Like, don't say, oh, I'm going to do it for 3 months. No, fuck 3 months. Do it until you die. You don't deserve to be the greatest person in your office if you're not outworking everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because we'll watch the game and say, oh, that player's whack. LeBron's washed. I'm like, yeah, until you are employee of the year at your job, don't point at an MVP what they're doing wrong. It's like the level of work it takes to be an MVP of any league. Take that level of work into your craft. Whatever it is you're doing, be that passionate about it. When you're listening to podcasts about your industry. Watch people in your industry. We have social media. School's bullshit now. What we had school and books for was information. We're an information society. All the information you need is there. It'll tell you what to do, but it can't do the steps for you.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to yourself like you're the type of person to do those steps.
Mm.
Carry yourself. When I moved to Florida, I introduced myself to everyone as a certain person. And I felt stuck because there's times where I didn't want to speak up, but I had to because this new person I created would speak up. And there's times like I'd be afraid to do something, like Cameron would do this and I would have to do those things. And eventually I got past that scary phase. Like if you hate picking up phone calls and you hate talking on the phone, but then you got a job at a call center and you just had to do that every day for 40 hours a week, after 3 weeks, you'd be picking up the phone easily. Exposure therapy. Find out what you're avoiding. Do it. Do it. And remember, no one cares about you or your success. People might love you. They don't really care that much. Everyone's doing their own thing. Yeah.
Cam, I am undoubtedly so inspired. This was an incredible conversation. I wholeheartedly believe we need to have many more. You are an incredible human, and just thank you for sharing. Yeah. Any last thoughts? I couldn't think of a better place to stop.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts that you think you want to share? You want people to feel, understand, think about, a question that you think they should all ask themselves? Anything?
I would ask, how would you feel if your child spoke to you the way you speak to yourself? How would you feel if your child spoke to themselves the way you speak to yourself? And if you don't want it for your child, you shouldn't want it for yourself. tell yourself a story you want to live?
It's a great question. Great framing. All right, brother. I appreciate you so much.
Thanks for having me on, man. This was fun.
You. Oh, yeah.